A very warm welcome. This is the first time in history that our annual meeting is arranged as an online event.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, die Corona-Pandemie zwingt uns, neue Wege zu gehen.
2030 we want to reach 65% renewables in the electricity mix in Germany. This is very ambitious and there are huge challenges. The increase in renewable energies requires both network expansion and network optimization. For a successful energy transition, we have to completely digitalize our energy system. This will allow for more flexibility and efficiency.
As a non-expert on energy, the German energy situation looks very daring in a way that we retreated or are retreating from nuclear power generation, we are retreating from coal, and at the same time need to uphold, of course, specific production levels. What do you think are the crucial success factors that this double transition actually is successful?
On the production side, we have more and more fluctuating technologies. That means that the demand must also be flexible. Fluctuating production and flexible and more flexible demand has to be matched by digitalization.
We have the tradition that at our events we always have one or two startups pitching. You each will have 5 minutes time for your pitch.
What has happened in the last 10 years is this big transformation that we have grown to become the world's largest producer of renewable diesel and renewable jet fuel based on waste and residues. We are also a company that is investing a lot in research and development. A big focus we have in research, more than 70% goes into new raw materials. We have committed to growing the share of waste and residues to 100% by 2025. In parallel, we are also working on new technologies to diversify the feedstock pool. And here I would take as examples of areas that we consider very promising for the future. For example, lignocellulosic waste and residues, also municipal solid waste, algae, as three examples that we consider to have an important role when we look at the longer term future.
Thank you very much, Matti. Super interesting. Now next we are moving over to the networking break.
The Lufthansa Group has engaged itself already back in 2011 to use sustainable aviation fuel. We had a project called Burnfair, where we had a A321 and Airbus just going back and forth between Hamburg and Frankfurt, just to test how this would work out. We segregated the aircraft into a fossil side and also into a SAF side and operated successfully 1,400 flights. Technology-wise, we were already ready by 2011 to say, let's move ahead. We detected that there is a higher fuel efficiency up to 3%, so that's actually a good signal. You find these SAF characteristics below 2 to 5 times more expensive. As a matter of fact, there is no silver bullet on these 5 different technologies at this time. It is just not enough for the time being. We as Lufthansa think we have sent out strong demand signals to our suppliers. We have also sent out strong demand signals to say, will our passengers be willing to pay the extra?
Sander, the floor is yours. Take us on the virtual ride to Smart Unternehmen.
Danke.
When we are looking at the final energy consuming sectors, about 50% of the energy in Europe, the same applies to Germany and Finland, goes to heating and cooling of buildings. 1/3 transportation, around 20%, a little bit more, is electricity. Electricity is a fantastic energy carrier that can provide efficiency gains and emission reductions. And electricity tends to be the easiest energy carrier to decarbonize, and many things that are improving energy efficiency are based on electricity. But electricity is hardly going to be the only energy carrier in a climate neutral society, even though we are going to see more electrified societies. We heard from State Secretary Feicht that Germany wants to increase the share of renewable electricity to 65% by 2030. I recently studied a report that was assessing the cost implied for that transition, and it was a very large number of and billions of euros. What was more interesting was that more than 50% of that money was supposed to go to the infrastructure to distribute and transmit that electricity. So the role of gas is really, really important now, and it will be so also in the future.
I will switch back to closing the Jahrestagung der Deutsch-Finnischen Handelskammer, which I have to say has been a momentous experience and a great example of what we can do moving forward.